Two senior CIA agents believe they were targeted with a sophisticated microwave weapon while they were visiting Australia late last year. It's been reported the pair may have been attacked as part of a global campaign by Russia that's left American spies and diplomats suffering from mysterious brain-related illnesses. Political reporter Noor Haider joins us now from Parliament House in Canberra. Noor, g'day. Yeah, pretty bizarre story. Take us through what's happened.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. It is a fascinating story. America's GQ magazine reports that a pair of US CIA agents, including one of the agency's most senior members, travelled to Australia late last year for a clandestine meeting with Australian security officers. Now, while they were in their hotel room, both of the agents experienced sort of pressure on their head. They reported hearing a strange noise and a ringing in their ears. Both of them also became nauseous and dizzy. Now, their symptoms are consistent with what's known as Havana syndrome. This was first documented back in 2016 by American diplomats in Cuba. At the time, about 24 diplomats complained about hearing strange noises, experiencing vertigo, mysterious brain effects, including tiredness that was just not explainable, but also debilitating headaches. Now, exactly what's behind those symptoms remains unclear, or who's behind those symptoms remains unclear. There have been suggestions by researchers that microwaves beamed through windows and doors of buildings could explain these strange impacts on the brain. An investigation by the CIA reportedly placed two Russian agents near this hotel in Australia where the two CIA agents were staying. This same phenomenon has occurred elsewhere around the world, not just in Australia or in Cuba. It's been reported in China, in Poland, London and Taiwan. Peter Jennings from the Australian Strategic Policy Institute says that if these attacks are proven, Russia is the most likely culprit.
I think what we are seeing here is something that is most likely from the Russians, who seem to, frankly, care almost nothing of the consequences of aggressive intelligence actions. The Chinese tend to be more cautious, but if something was being directed against the American consulate in Guangzhou in China, that it seems to me could only really happen if there was some degree of Chinese complicity in the Russian behaviour.
Now, the Australian federal government has declined to comment on this matter directly, which isn't surprising. However, we do know that the federal government and Australian intelligence agencies do hold serious concerns about the activities of foreign spies on Australian soil. The head of Australia's domestic spy agency only this week warned that the number of spies operating in Australia now is more than that during the Cold War. For what it's worth, the ABC did contact the US Embassy here in Canberra. They declined to comment and referred us to the CIA, which is yet to respond. GQ magazine does, however, have a response from Russia's foreign ministry, or a spokesperson from Russia's foreign ministry. They've reportedly said that they wouldn't confirm whether these victims experienced an acoustic attack, paranoia or Russophobia, and they say that that's a question for doctors.
The recording gives us the first tangible sense of what it was like for these American government workers in Havana who were hearing these unexplained sounds in their residences and later developed physical symptoms. Americans who heard these sounds in Havana have described slightly different sounds, and even in some of the recordings that the AP has reviewed, there are slight variations. However, this high-pitched cricket sound seems to appear in all of them. The U.S. Embassy in Havana has played these recordings for Americans who are working there so they know what to listen to. These recordings have also been reviewed by people who heard the sounds firsthand in Cuba, and they confirm that the recordings are generally consistent with what they heard. We still don't know what is causing the sound, and the recordings don't appear to have significantly furthered the investigation. Even with the recordings being analyzed, the U.S. government still says it has been unable to determine what is causing the sound.
You won't be hearing it, but of course it is going into your system. It's like a acoustic hammer which is hitting you. You're just not able to hear it because its frequency is much higher. So there were some concerns to it, and if it is really, really high, it could create some, what we call as a bioeffects.
It's possible that what we're hearing on the recording is actually only part of the picture. Traditional recording devices are only able to pick up certain types of frequencies, such as the ones that the human ear can hear. It's possible there are additional frequencies, possibly those too low or too high to be picked up, that are also happening when these attacks occur.